Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Father Michael, and this is week 2 of my musings. We're going to look, we'll spend these next several weeks looking at some of those silly statements we see in all the 12-step recovery rooms. And I think those statements can really be insightful and helpful. So this week I thought we'd look at this statement we see in so many of our group meeting rooms. It says, first things first. It seems so simple. It seems so logical. Why would anyone ever need to be reminded to put first things first in their life? However, if you are a recovering alcoholic or addict, or you know and love someone who suffers from a substance abuse disorder, then you know that chaos is a hallmark of their lives. When you're in the throes of your addiction, your life is utter chaos. Up is down, down is up. Everything is crisis. Everything is drama. You lost the capacity to be honest. Truth is simply forgotten. All you care about really is your drug of choice. You lie. You manipulate. You steal. You connive. You do whatever to secure your drug of choice. Nothing and nobody is as important as your drug of choice. I know of people who've left their home and walked in horrible snowstorms to get to the liquor stores. They wouldn't run out of booze that night. As such, your life is messed up. You've lost all perspective of priorities. You simply lost the ability to be honest. But you also can no longer prioritize anything in your life. Everything's important. Everything's a jumble. You're either high or you're looking to get high. That's your priority. So in this maze of addiction, confusion, and lies, how can you possibly know what to do first? Your only real priority is getting drunk or high. Now obviously, the first thing to do is to stop. But how? How can you even say this if you're still using? And until you first get clean and the fog begins to lift. But as long as that fog is there, there's no clarity. There's just chaos. At some point, you may become sick and tired of being sick and tired. You may even at some point actually hit your bottom. You may be court-ordered, but whatever. The first step must be to stop, to detox, to reach out for help, to get treatment. Perhaps this 12-step recovery group, sometimes in rehab. You need to engage in fellowship. No one gets sober alone. An important part of sobriety is embracing your we. You need to grow in honesty with yourself, with others. You need to accept responsibility for your actions and the damage they may have caused. Don't relive them, but know them, own them, accept responsibility, and move on. You need to embrace humility, to realize you are not God. You need to work the steps. You need to get a sponsor who will help you work the steps. You need a home group. Ultimately, you need to pray, and pray some more. And that's where step 11 is so important. Step 11 says, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for the knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Not manipulation. Often what we call prayer is manipulation. We tell God the answer we want, and then we go back and do things to prove to God we want that answer. Prayer is not telling God the answer we want. Prayer is conforming ourselves to God's will. That means even when you're drinking, you pray for the knowledge of His will for you and the power to carry that out. Also, for sobriety to be real, you have to assume an attitude of gratitude. If you begin to be grateful for every moment you have in life, your whole attitude will change. You will see life not as a burden. You will see life not as a game to get high, but you will see the goodness, the blessings, the wonder, and the mystery of life. Then, once you're clean, you can begin to understand what it means to put first things first. The chaos has to stop. The noise has to be quiet. The humility has to begin. Then you can live life on life's terms and begin to understand what first things first mean. Next week, we're going to look at one of my absolutely favorite slogans. It says, principles before personalities. And I think that's important, not just for those in recovery, but for everyone in our contemporary society. We have somehow allowed the personality of the other to drown out perhaps the truth they speak. So next week, we will look at that slogan. How do we put principles before personalities? Goodbye, and thank you for being here. Now let's together pray by saying the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Also a reminder, this Wednesday at 7 p.m., I'll be offering a presentation in Madonna of Jerusalem Church at 201 9th Street in Sharpsburg. It will also be on our website and our, what do you call that thing?
Facebook.
And our Facebook. It is Addiction Recovery Ministry Pittsburgh. All the words spelled out. The topic this week, since it's the month of May, this is the month of Mother's Day, and as you're a Catholic, this is also the month we honor our Blessed Mother. We're going to look at that passage in Scripture, Matthew's Gospel, where Mary goes to Jesus and wants him to come home. And he says, no, he has to follow his own path. We're going to look at that Scripture and see how that Scripture can talk to us about the effect our struggling with addiction has had on all those people we love. I hope to see you Wednesday and see you next Monday. Goodbye.